Nobody prepared me for how quiet life would feel. And I don't mean lonely, I mean quiet. Everyone talks about what retirement gives you: freedom, time, less stress, but nobody really talks about what it quietly takes away. When you don't work for decades, your life has noise built into it: deadlines, decisions, problems that need fixing, people who need answers. Even on the hard days, there's momentum. And then one day, it's gone. At first, that sounds great. No alarm clock, no meetings, no pressure. But after a while, the days slow down. And that's when you notice something nobody warned you about: the quiet. I didn't miss the job itself. I missed the journey. I missed having a reason to move fast, a reason to decide, a reason to feel needed. For years, my days were shaped by responsibility, and then suddenly they weren't. Mornings feel different when no one is waiting on you. The coffee tastes the same, the sun comes up the same, but the silence feels heavier. In those first weeks of retirement, I'd wake up early out of habit. I'd sit with my coffee and feel calm, restless at the same time. Nothing was wrong, and that just made it hard to explain why something felt off. For decades, my mornings had purpose before my feet hit the floor. There was always something waiting on me. Now the mornings were wide open, and I didn't know what to do with that kind of space. My mind kept checking in, almost asking, shouldn't we be doing something right now? And when there was no answer, I felt uneasy. I told myself I earned this, and that this was the only reward everyone talks about. But deep down, I realized how much of my identity had been tied to motion, not to ambition, motion. Moving fast, solving things, being useful. That's when I understood something important. Retirement is an event. It's a transition. And transitions are uncomfortable even when they're chosen. A lot of people confuse this feeling with loneliness, but it's not the same thing. Loneliness is missing people. Quiet is missing structure. Quiet is waking up and realizing no one is steering the day but you. And that sounds freeing until you're the one holding the wheel. There's no boss to disappoint, no deadline to rush toward, no outside voice telling you what matters today. And when that external pressure disappears, you start hearing an internal question you ignored for years. What do I actually want now? That question doesn't arrive all at once. It shows up on random Tuesday mornings or on long afternoons and moments when the house feels too quiet. The quiet brings things to the surface you never had time to hear before. Thoughts you drowned out with busyness. Questions you kept postponing. For me, the hardest part wasn't money. It wasn't boredom. It was realizing how much of my sense of worth came from being needed, from being counted on, from being the one who fixed things when something went wrong. Work gave me structure. Retirement gave me truth. And that truth can be uncomfortable because now there's no schedule forcing meaning into your day. You have to choose it. One of the biggest adjustments was redefining what a good day even looks like. For most of my life, a good day meant being productive, getting things done, crossing things off a list. Retirement takes that scoreboard away. And at first that feels like freedom, but eventually it raises a quiet question. How do I know if today mattered? Without meetings, without deadlines, without anyone evaluating your performance. I had to learn that a good day doesn't always look busy. Some days, a good day is a long walk, or sitting longer with my coffee, or choosing not to rush just because I can. Other days, a good day is doing nothing at all and not feeling guilty about it. That took practice, because guilt doesn't disappear in retirement. It just changes shape. At first, I tried to replace the old noise with new noise. I stayed busy just to stay busy. I filled the calendar to avoid the silence. But the quiet doesn't go away. It waits. And eventually you realize you can't outrun it. You have to sit with it. That's when something starts to shift. The quiet stops feeling like a loss and starts feeling like space. Space to slow down, space to think clearly, space to decide what matters now, not urgently, but intentionally. I realized I didn't need a packed schedule to have a meaningful day. Some days meaning is simply choosing peace. The quiet didn't mean my life was over. It meant I had to listen differently. Not to bosses, not to deadlines, not to urgency, but to myself. And that takes time. You don't replace decades of momentum overnight. You don't instantly feel peaceful just because life gets quieter. But slowly, the quiet softens. It becomes less empty and more open. You start noticing things you rushed past for years. A slower morning, a deliberate choice, a day that doesn't need to prove anything. Nobody prepared me for how quiet feels, but maybe that quiet isn't something to fear. Maybe it's where the rest of life finally begins. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. And if you're still learning how to live inside the quiet, so am I. Before I wrap this up, I want to say one more thing, especially if this season of life feels quieter than you expected. If you're feeling a little lost, a little slower, or like you don't quite know what the point of the day is anymore, there's nothing wrong with you. Nobody prepares you for the mental shift that comes after the job ends. You don't lose your ability. You don't lose your value. You just lose the noise that used to tell you who you were supposed to be. And in that quiet, it takes time to figure out what actually matters. That's really what this channel is about. Having honest conversations about retirement without pretending it's all freedom and golf courses. And if these conversations help you, I do have a small coffee club where we keep talking a little more personally. No pressure at all. I just wanted to mention it for anyone who wants to stay connected beyond the videos. Either way, I'm glad you're here. And if today felt quiet for you too, you're not alone in it. Thanks for watching.